treat. Best TV mounts for campers that I've discovered, made by MORryde. 3 different styles here to show you today. One TV is going in the bedroom, which will be the 24-inch. The 40-inch will be going in the bunkhouse in the rear, the toy hauler. And of course the 43-inch will be going in the living room or living area kitchen. Tune into this video to check out how to do it properly and what works best. Tips and tricks in a Wolfpack 365/16. Hey guys, Nate from Rebel Liners here in my Wolfpack Platinum 365/16. And we are specializing this video in TVs. As you know, this camper, if you're familiar with it, has 3 spots that you can put a TV. My wife claims it's not needed, but I beg to differ. On that note, we're starting off in the 16-foot garage with the TV that you can't quite see over. There's nothing there at the moment, but it goes up top here. And the mounts that I've chosen to use that we'll talk about all the way through the camper. None of this video is sponsored. I've paid for everything out of pocket. And I just do want to clarify that I am a RV parts sales company. So obviously I get stuff at dealer cost. With that being said, the camper was slightly used. It's a 2020. The family before us used it 3 times. I saved a good $20,000 to $25,000 on this purchase, buying it slightly used. And it did come with the TV, one TV that he was using in the rear. I will show you that in a second. It's huge. It's heavy. I'm vertically challenged. He was taking it up and down before travel. It takes up more room in the camper to store it. You've got to wrap it up. I don't want to deal with that. So, out of the 3 TVs that we are installing in the garage, I decided to do a 40-inch TV that I believe weighs around 16 pounds. Okay, the mount that I chose to use for this TV that's getting mounted up top, which I'll show you here shortly, is made by MORryde. Again, this MORryde mount is not been sponsored. I purchased it myself, and I'll show you why I purchased and chose this mount. This mount is rated up to a load of 12 to 20 pounds. I'll be under my 20 pounds, so I'm good. What I like about it is all MORryde's mounts, they allow us to use them without having to figure out other ways to secure them. So the MORryde mount itself is really nice. The one I chose here for the back, it's their drop-down mount, and I'll list the part number in the listing below. But once it's mounted, it has a pole that releases a lever and will also allow the TV to be lowered down. So if we're sitting in our seating that is located, that you might not be able to see left and right, you won't be looking up. While the kids are up in their bunk, the TV can still be left in the upright position and used and watched, and then we can lower it down like I said. So this is the mount that we're going to concentrate on installing right now. I do a couple things when I go to mount TVs and campers, just to give me a better idea. I make templates of the exact TV size. Any TV you order, and the specifications will give you the TV size. So for the 40-inch that I chosen here, measures 35.7 by 20.9. It's for the garage. So this will give me the size, and I can approximate how I'm going to want this mount to be. For the inside the kitchen, we're doing a 43-inch that measures 21.9 by 37.7. And we'll talk about that MORryde mount while we're there right now. This one is also really nice. It has a quick release when it's on the wall. You can pop the mount off and take it off to work on it or mount it. What I also like about it is it also has a release lever that when it's not in the stowed position and you pull the release, which is kind of hard to do with 2 hands because it's not mounted, the TV will be able to pull out and the TV will be able to turn or move from side to side. That's why I chose this one for the kitchen. This one's rated for, I believe it's 35 pounds, that is correct. This one's rated for 35 pounds. And then upstairs in the bedroom, we're doing a 24-inch TV, and that one will have a nice swing arm that's rated for 15 pounds, I think. That's 24-inch TV. The cutout's already upstairs for it. It only weighs about 7 pounds. Again, these mounts are all by MORryde, not sponsored. I'll list the part numbers. They got a great selection of TV mounts, and I feel like they've really taken their time to engineer these mounts. They're a metal making factory. On top of that, there's some straps that are sold by a company called Thumb Lock. These are TV straps, and you can mount it on each side for a little bit more security so the TV don't bounce around too much. I don't think I'm going to need them, but I picked up 3 anyhow, and we'll investigate that as the time proceeds to see if we're interested in that. The only issue that I've had with MORryde so far is the MORryde drop-down mount that came today was missing the instructions and all the hardware. I immediately called MORryde. I told them what was going on. MORryde was great. They emailed me the instructions immediately, and they overnighted the parts, which will be here tomorrow. The truth is I probably don't need the parts, as I've done a lot of TV mounting in my time, and somewhere around here I have all the parts, like you see here, the M5s and the M4s, the spacers and all the screws, from every TV I've ever installed left over. So I have a boatload of parts. Probably don't need the kit, but it's still coming. So I'm going to bring the camera up. I'm going to show you the mount that's up there. I'm going to uninstall that mount, and I'll probably stop the video. You really don't need to see me uninstall it. We're going to get the stud finder. This whole camper is labeled TV backer in every location of where the backer can be located, or where the backer is located to mount the TV. From what I read online, it's a pretty decent sized backer behind there, but we are going to use a stud finder just to make sure we know what's going on. So this is the TV that was mounted in here. It is a 1080p Vizio. It's probably a halfway decent, but you can see how thick this TV is. This is a hefty TV. It's heavy, it's bulky, and again, when you're vertically short like me, to reach all the way up here is not fun. I did it once and I don't plan to do it again. It looks like the original holes up there were from the factory mount, which has that little V slide that you can lift up and on. And then it looks like he put a home, what you would use at a house, mount up there. Don't like it. So we'll be changing that out. There's a stud finder here. And it looks like there's an edge here. And we'll mark it. And there's definitely the main stud there. And all the way to where the other existing hole was. If I push on it side to side, you can see how it pushes in here, and then it gets real solid right here. There's no doubt that there's something right here. So what I'll do is, I'm going to get it up there, try to center it the best I can to where the studs are, and then I'm going to take my cardboard cutout, find out where the holes actually are on the TV, and then what I'll do is mock it up to fit the way I want it. Alright, quick update where I'm at. I used my mock-up cardboard TV. I found, of course, center up top first, and then found the lowest point that I want the TV to sit by. It's in its lock position because I don't want the TV to hang down lower when it's all the way up. That way it can't be caught, so I want it higher than that lip of the ceiling. And of course it's also got to be low enough where it's not going to hit the top of the ceiling. What I first did was release these shocks. Just like a truck cap or anything else, flathead screwdriver, pries back on this little metal tab, and you can release it off the ball. Real easy, just push it at an angle, it'll snap right back on. Be careful you don't put too much pressure, otherwise this clip will go flying, and it's not fun. I've done it in the past and it's miserable. This way I can work on it freely without it being under load, okay? I'm finding the backer on this particular camper not to be as wide as I wanted it to be. To make myself feel better, with a little bit of security, I screwed a hole in the center and a hole in the center on the bottom bracket. So I put a hole right here, and I put a hole down below, okay? I did that just to make sure that I'm going to get into that backer. With that being said, I also made sure that nothing on here is going to be in the way of this mechanism closing or opening, and I fully tested it, okay? So, I'm content with that. Last thing I wanted to show you is the piece that does mount on the TV. This TV is using the farthest outside holes. The bracket fits perfect. the label faces you, and it's kind of keyed, and it's keyed. So once you get this TV mounted on this, with this released, because it's in the lock position, and it puts pressure on the back of this mount so the TV can't flop, you're going to kind of come in on an angle, and it's going to lock in, then you'll tighten the nuts behind it. So that'll be the next step here. I picked the hardware up at the hardware store. Some of the stuff that came was a little lighter duty and shorter than what I wanted. I also got some what they call fender washers. They're a little bit bigger, just to make sure I'm getting a good grab. I grabbed long ones and short ones, and I think I'm definitely going to be going with the longer than the shorter. Next step is to get the first screw up there. So I have 2 large bolts or screws into it. I'm using a laser level just to get it somewhat level here. I can tell you right now that let me shut this thing off here. I can tell you I'm not thrilled by the size of that mounting bracket behind this at all. I'm going to have to take this piece down and yet drill another hole. So luckily I made the executive decision here to drill that hole with that big bolt, lagging bolt you see there, and the same up there. None of them hit. From what I'm seeing in the measurement, I'm going to be able to put another one right here. Okay? And I'm going to have to, because I am not comfortable with just 2 bolts. The 2 bolts are probably fine. All the screws you see on these outsides are hitting nothing but lightweight cardboard. I call it cardboard wood. And the same down here. I've got nothing there. So I'm going to have to take this off, drill another hole here. I want another hole in that. I can tell you I already hung off this thing. It's probably not going anywhere. But man, it would really make me feel good, or feel better, if I had that one more mount in it. Otherwise, man, that's going to be nice. That TV's going to drop right down. That's going to be sharp. There's no doubt. And then when the TV's all the way up, the bottom of the TV should be somewhere in here. If my paper cardboard was right, my top's going to miss the ceiling. So, time to get the drill out. Drill this up. So, judge me all you want. It looks like shit, excuse my language, whatever you want to say. I hung off this thing. I'm happy with it. I did do the next hole. I didn't put it in center with the other one on purpose for the squawkers on YouTube. I wanted this cable to make sure it wasn't going to hit it if it closed. Everything seems to work. I was able to take 4-inch and I got into it and they sunk. That made me feel better on the sides. And I also got it to do it here and do it here. So I'm definitely happier with this situation. Next, we'll take a little spin around the camper here and try not to make you sick. Remember how I told you I save all my TV hardware? Well, it really paid off because I had exactly what I needed to mount my plate. So I'm mounting the plate now. The only thing I'm going to do, and some people might think I'm crazy for this, but because it's a camper and bouncing around, and there's really no lock washers that came with any of this stuff or that I have left over, I'm going to use a little bit of blue Loctite. I mean a little bit on those 4 screws. I had a choice on how long I wanted to go with them. I found that those right there were my best size. And that would be totally different for your TV or your scenario. But the bags are even labeled. I used the M6 by 20 millimeter is what I used. So that is where we're at the moment. When and if you're not using spacers on a backing bracket, for those plastic round things that come, which I don't like because it leaves a gap between it. The M6 by 20s were fine in the top. Always be careful when running them in. If they stop, you're hitting something. You don't want to damage the TV. I put them in finger tight first. And on the bottom ones, finger tight, it stopped. So I had to switch to the M6 by 12 millimeter. Simple things to make your life a little easier before you put the TV on there. Check all the hardware from the factory. You might find loose bolts. For example, this locking pin bolt right here is a little looser than I like. Let me focus on it for you. It's a little looser than I like. It's just barely into the nylock thread on this bolt. I'm going to tighten that up a little bit so it doesn't slop around. Once the TV was on there, it would not have been fun to do. I'm going to check all the other bolts in it too. Alright guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty impressed right now. I'm extremely impressed with MORryde's mounting device for this TV because it's awesome. I was also able to add the added strap that is a little too high for me. We carry stools in our rig anyhow, and a stool would be no big deal, but the reason why I did the added strap, and I was able to hit a stud and find a stud with my stud finder approximately 1 foot out from each side of the mount. The reason why I did is for some reason that latch failed and that TV was to fall. That strap is catching it and holding it there quite well. I'm extremely happy with the mount. The mount actually worked out really well, and I was able to hang off it, so I know it's good. The reason why this mount is rated for 20 pounds, it's not because that's all the mount can physically hold. As you see when I undo this strap, you're going to see the TV still isn't going to fall. It's because it's assisted. So I'm going to make a little tie here that's going to wrap this up, and this will pin up out of the way so we're not walking into it. And with the assisted on the shocks, allows you to place this TV at any spot you want. It's got left and right turn. You could put it up here, and you could say, you know what, we're all sitting way down low and we want to be able to watch the TV from the seats. Or maybe the boys are up on the bunk and they want it up higher. I'm really happy with this mount. Again, MORryde did not sponsor me. This mount is sick. I'm extremely happy the way it came out. The only other thing that I have looked at and want to make sure that people realize is when you go to snap this up, okay, you can't just push up. You got to kind of lift it towards you and push back at the same time. Then you're locked. Now, that bracket holds it from being able to rotate. You'll see them rubber mounts. With my stool in here, I'll be able to take this strap before we leave. And we're on the road. And I will snap it in. And you know what? Just a peace of mind. TV one, done. Scratched off the list. I'm pretty stoked. And on to the next one. Alright, here we are in the living room kitchen area. And you'll see the TV backer. You'll see the connections. We can even do audio onto this one, assuming it's connected to the stereo, as most are. And here's the stock mount. That's where they have it, okay? Everything feels solid behind this wall. My stud finder goes crazy. Particularly right there, all the way through. Like there's some sort of big piece of wood behind there with nails or something. Looks like a lot of real estate here. Hopefully going to be easier than the other one. I'm probably going to pull this off even though I don't want the holes there. We're going to see where we're going to end up first. I removed the cushions on the seat that's here to stand on. And this will be the size of my TV. And I want it right about there. So I mean, just looking, that's about where I want that mount. And that's going to take that other mount off for sure. So that's going to be about it. I just got to figure out the mount height and where I want to go. I see good approximate. This is a very sturdy mount. The mount weighs more than a dang TV, but it's going to go something like that. I just got to figure out height proportion wise where it's going to go. This mount's capable of 35 pound TV, and this TV I'm putting up, it's lighter than that one. I think this one's 17. I think the other one was 14. I'll put it all in the narrative on the bottom and the link to what TVs I used. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But we're going to go after this 4K TV now and see what we come up with. Alright, as you can see, I removed the backer that was there. Remember my TV template? My outside holes here is actually what the TV mounts to on the front. My inside holes here are the actual mount for the bracket. So this tells me exactly where this TV is going to sit. I can position this and mark my holes to wherever I want. And I'm leaning towards somewheres in this area right here. Now, maybe, and it looks like I will be able to, hit one of the existing holes right there. So these markers are great with the quick clicks. The Sharpies. Obviously I'm going to check to see how center I am, or square I should say. But that's pretty much it there. And that's all solid there. I mean, the wall doesn't push in. So boom, boom. That one didn't quite go. I'm not worried about it. It'll line up. And that's where I'm going to stick that. I'll show you that the bracket on this one, this is what this TV is going to be a lot quicker of an install. I'll show you how the back comes off here in a second. It'll make life a lot easier. I'll be able to just get everything up and on. I apologize. The fan, or I should say the heater, just kicked on. Hopefully it ain't drowning me out. Back of the bracket, it's got an arrow on the plate. Up. Spring loaded. I'm not sure if you can see that or not, but it's spring loaded. And what happens is it pushes in there on these pins and it'll lock back in. You gotta unlock it so you get to the backer. Once you get to the backer, you can set this off to the side. I've got my holes marked. I went with ridiculous fender washers and bolts that were a little heavier than what came with it, although the ones I took out are pretty much the same. Okay? Magnet preloaded so it'll fall off, makes it life easier. And what we're going to do, we're going to go for that existing hole first. Okay? It's going to be less of a fight, it's going to get me started. And she bit nice. We're not going to get crazy here. We are going to check for this to be level on this wall before I continue on. And of course I don't have my level sitting here, even though my marks are pretty on. I don't want to guess. So I will go grab a level real quick and we'll just make sure that's level. Just our cheapo level here. Nothing fancy. We're going to set it on there and I am spot on right there. So we will proceed to the farthest corner so it doesn't start moving on us now. Hopefully, this is where I'm going to get nervous. If we don't hit something here. Oh, that sunk. That sunk beautiful. That's a backer back there. And we're still pretty level. So, we will start to move on here. Starting that metal hole a little bit. Loosen that one up. So it doesn't pull too much. Wow. Putting all 6 in this might be overkill. I can tell you that. Because she is going on there. Like, really going on there. Alright. It does not like that one there. Wowzers. Yeah, we're getting serious meat on this. Even though the level says I'm level, it looks like it's cockeyed just a little bit, but yeah, it's good. We're level. And we're talking barely. Perfect. Alright, and they call me Overdo It Nate. And I'm putting all 6 of it. It's going to make me feel a this bad boy staying on. So much for the safety glasses on my head. I'm sure someone will make that comment, huh? Gotta love it. Alright, we got one more to put in and we'll be done. And I got the wrong size. Oh, maybe it is the right size. One here. Arrows pointed up. Gonna check them all real quick. Remember, tight is tight, too tight's broken. The old guys used to say that to me at the truck shop. I used to work. And now that that's on there, this should be cake. I believe you're going to go, and I'm going to practice this. It's going to be a lot easier when it comes time for the TV. Top bar up first. See it line up. Bottom bar push in. And it's locked, okay? And then this is nice. I was hoping this wasn't going to beat off this. It's all right. We pull this pin, and we will have pull out with it, twist and turn. Push it back in, and it'll be locked and secured. With the studs I found on the side, I should be able to do my crazy strap again. We'll see. But pretty happy so far. So now to take it off, hopefully it's up and out, up and out. Alright, get the TV mounted. What are you doing on camera? In that bottom channel. That moment of did it go? She went. And I get my greasy head all over the TV. I am holding on to it just in case I was wrong the way that went on. Oh no, she is well and in there. I am going to call MORryde tomorrow. I'm just curious, is this going to be a TV that needs to be taken down? Because I'll tell you, the way it comes off, so it locks in there, but this TV doesn't even mount to what the maximum weight is. But I feel like if you hit a good enough bump, the way that's spring loaded, that TV may want to pop off there. I mean, it looks great, but I mean, I guess you really have to hit a bump. Maybe I could do a strap long ways on it. We know there's a stud there. I'm going to look into that. I'm also going to see what they think. But that's pretty sweet. If it bounces, like we all know what it's like. You hit some of these roads these days, and you know it. Them campers, you can see them jumping in the back and flopping up and down. You just wonder if that's going to be an issue or not. I'm hoping not. But like I said, I mean, the initial, I did get a little head crease on there. Oh, that ticks me off. It's got to go up. No, it is a two-stage now that I see it. I don't think I'll be able to get the camera back here. But it's a two-stage for it to do that. Because if it goes up, it's like it's bottoming them out there. So it would evenly. I just don't want to wear this TV. That'll be real entertainment, right? It would have to pop up, and it's still ain't even gonna get past that stage now that I see it, because you got to really shove before it's all gonna come right down. I mean, hopefully a strap will fix that. And then it locks on there. I mean, the TV only weighs, I looked it up, 17 pounds. The bracket, I think, weighs more than the dang TV itself. Got some fingerprints on there, that'll tick me off. I don't have anything to connect it either. The power's right there. That'll be easy. And then We got the TV and I believe satellite or cable. Yeah. It says aux. I'm not sure. I gotta look into that too. But a little secret that I should have showed you this before. All these campers got these days electric operated or electronic antennas. And a lot of people don't know there's a button you have to turn on. I'll try to zoom in here. I should have done this beforehand. But if you look really carefully, you see that little green light there in the center of the center plug? There's a little push button right there. And that little push button's got to be pushed in to activate that antenna. Otherwise, that antenna is not on. I personally do not like that is mounted up there, that button. Because I'm a firm believer that if you're not using it, well, why would you want it on all the time? It's just putting power to it constantly. So if I take this broom right here, I push that little button, you'll see the green light's now off. Push it again, and the green light's now on. Little secret. But overall, I think this looks pretty good in this wolf pack. Again, I'm going to play around with a strap. Man, I really didn't want to get in the business of taking TVs down. I guess we'll see here what happens. Overall, wow, what a perfect size TV. I was doing a lot of research. A lot of people did 43s there. So, we'll look into the strap next. That's what I came up with. That strap, and I'll tell you the name of it again. It's not made by MORryde. I have it leg bolted in. So the strap itself, I don't think you can see it, is actually leg bolted in. So it's physically leg bolted in pretty deep. I mean, this is as much as the dang TV itself is. And I pull up and down. That is going to keep it from popping out. I have another idea, but I think that's going to be it right there, though. I think that's it. I really do. Straps are made. They're pretty big too. I mean, it went all the way around the TV. So I'm pretty content with that. Like I told you, I don't overdo everything. That bottom screw on the right side, on each side I did, I put my own pins in. So I pinned it so it can't lift now. It just makes me feel better with the strap. I'm feeling like this is super secure at this point. This is not recommended by MORryde. It's not in their instructions to do this. Do this at your own risk. I'm not telling you to do this. I felt this was my best option. Okay, this TV, like I said, I drilled a hole on each side and I pinned it bracket to bracket. So now this cannot lift up. So as far as the quick removal, I'd have to take this Phillips out, this Phillips up. And it's lock washered and the whole deal. So that's what I did. It makes me feel better. Pin goes in when you close it, latches it, strap goes over the top. I don't think I'm going to get any more secure than that. Do not hold me responsible if you make this decision. You probably should take your TV off the wall. I don't know if that's the answer they're looking for or not. But I hung off this bracket full weight and I'm a fatty, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be good. And I've got a lot of extra security here going on. I'm pretty satisfied with this. So if you're not familiar with this camper, maybe you are, bathroom is here. I've got the slide out in at the moment because it snowed last night here. I'll put them all out. But the next TV, you can see our famous TV backer, is going to go on that mount here. It'll be able to come out and it'll push back in. So we're going to see how tight this bad boy is going to be tomorrow. Hopefully it's going to fit very good. that's where we're going with it. Alright, last mount has finally arrived. And it is the MORryde extending swivel wall mount. I'm going to do a quick segment on all these mounts that I got. What they actually weigh, because I've been way off on what I've been telling you what the mounts actually weigh. For example, that one in the living room, living area was only 2 pounds. It felt way heavier. And I've also been way off on the TVs. The TVs are way lighter than I thought they were. With that being said, this mount is rated for 25 pounds. This 24-inch TV that we're installing today is only 7 pounds, which I'll requote that at the end. Really nice. It's got a quick lever on it. It pulls on the bottom and a lot of movement. We got my cardboard TV here. Going to do the same thing we've been doing. I'm going to get it all mounted up, fitted, and get it mounted on the wall. Alright, as we see, we have the TV backer sign here. I stud found it. It's pretty solid all the way back around there. I did my mock-up TV on the cardboard, you know, where I want it. The hole's properly measured to the exact TV out there. And then this will give me a chance to truly figure out where I want this mount, where it's not going to hit the door opening and so on and so forth. So I'm leaning towards right there is where I want it. So I'll just pull my TV off, and obviously, oh, I hit the camera. I've got to check level yet on it, but I will make a mark on where I was going to put it, and that's going to be that. And I'll get my level. I'll see where it's at, and it'll be a voila. When this pulls, it'll open up, and the whole TV, obviously when the TV's on there, it'll be easier. The whole TV will pull out, and you can put it where you want it. The only thing I thought is maybe I could get it a little higher, but I will figure that out yet. That's where I'm at so far. Got the first one in. It bit in pretty good. The camera's probably a little wobbly. It's on the bed, and I don't have the stand under the front of the fifth wheel. So that's going to be it right there, according to this. And it did bite pretty good. Perfectly level, according to this. Okay, so I got 2 in there. Listen, the screws that came with it were really lightweight. I know this TV only weighs like 6 pounds, but overdo it, Nate. I drilled the holes out bigger, and I did go with my shorter leg bolts. Leg bolts. I know I've called them screws and bolts and a whole bunch of different things, but they're leg bolts. They're made for wood. Okay? And we're going to put at least 4 in this, I decided. At least 4. And I've bit, every place I've gone I've bit, so there's definitely a halfway decent backer behind this. For sure. Alright. Go around and check them all. Tight is tight. Too tight's broken. So, and it's there. It's a little wobbly. I guess we'll see. I mean, there's got to be a backer back there that I'm hoping we're into. So, we'll work on what's next now. Nothing there down here. Up there is, and to the sides there are. So, like I said, it's a pretty light TV, so we really shouldn't have an issue. Again, I oversized these holes on the bench. No big deal. And this plate flops down so we get the TV on it. And boom, that'll be pretty nice. Pull down on the handle, pull your TV out, and it's got a little bit of tip to it. Or you can bring it right in like that. You'll have a whole bunch of options, so it's pretty exciting. Hole played off to do this. I don't know if that's recommended or not. Probably should look at the instructions. But I can tell you, it's going alright. It could be worse. Don't forget to put the plastic Teflon pieces back between the bolts so that you can pivot it without problems. What I did was I started the top two because they're just wing nuts on the top. And I figured once I got the top in, I can get the wrench in on the bottom. So that TV ain't going anywhere right now. This TV only weighs like 6.1 pounds. There is no doubt it's the perfect TV for this spot because, you know, this wall definitely doesn't have as big of a mount as obviously the bigger TV areas did, which isn't overly surprising. So what are we talking here? We got the maximum of under 8 pounds hanging on this wall. I don't think it'll be an issue. I wouldn't want to go down the road with this TV pulled out like this. That would probably be a pretty poor choice just because of the bounce. But man, if she's locked in and away, I think you'll be good. And this is probably my side of the bed, so I'll be able to push it out of the way and hopefully not walk into it all the time. But we'll get these all snugged up and we'll get a better look at this. But boy, it's looking pretty good right now, I'll tell you that. I don't think that could be a better fit. Totally clear of the door. No chance of hitting it coming in and out. Shut the bathroom door. It'll swing all the way around and I can watch it on the crapper too. How about that? And I got plenty of room to get around it. I mean, I'm stocky, I'm short, bad, but I can walk around that no problem. And from what I see, you could just barely release this if you want and pretty much leave it in a position like that to watch it, or you can get crazy and you bring it right up to the bed. It's got tons of motion. I mean, tons of motion. I mean, when you get camping, you could leave it like that if you wanted to. You can come all the way towards the door, which I don't recommend because someone goes walking through, they're going to smash it. And then real easy, it's got nice rubber cushions on the back, you'll see if you buy this. And as I rotate it through, I just bring the TV back and I just keep swinging it and locked in and ready to go. If I do strap it, I did find some other studs that were back there. Maybe I can get a strap around it and it'll make me feel better. Alright, so as always, I overdo it. I put the strap on here and I'm telling you right now, I hit a stud on each side. This thing is solid now. Makes me feel better. I'm really glad I bought these straps. These straps along with these mounts are extremely satisfying. I'll shorten these straps up because this TV is so small, and I'll take a lighter to the end of it, melt it over so it doesn't fray. And that's all you got to do when you get there is unstrap it, pull it, put it wherever you would like it, and the straps are actually pretty out of the way, and with them shorten up here and shorten up there, it is what it is. So super happy with everything the way it came out. I wish this was I feel like there's not a very big backer behind here. I mean, there's no doubt it's solid. I mean, it is a 24-inch TV. It weighs 6 pounds. Time to go. That's all you got to do is package it in there, let it click, grab your strap, strap it, and away we go. Just showing you that's where I found the stud with a stud finder, and it is solid. And over here, kind of hard to do this with one hand, but we can do it here. Done it enough times. Obviously, I hit the stud dead corner, and like I'm pulling on that right now, hard. That baby is in there, so it looks really good. I'm sorry if this video ended up too long. I try to keep it as short as I can. I'm going to do my ending synopsis right now on everything real quick with the weights like I promised. Again, everything will be listed in the product description at the bottom of what I use and what I bought. I'm not sponsored by any of this stuff. We'll start with the TVs. I went with the Best Buy brand, Insignia, because they had a banging price on them. I'm a Samsung guy my entire life, but I could not beat the Insignia prices. The 4K TV came with a $50 Best Buy card. The 40-inch TV came with a $40 gift card. All said and done the following day, once you ordered online and got the gift cards emailed to you, I got the 24-inch TV for like $58. and that's a 1080 Smart. So real quick, 40-inch TV, well actually, my apologies, we'll start with the 43-inch. 43-inch, okay, 4K Smart TV. That TV weighs 17 pounds. Make sure when you get the weights online that you're doing it without the stand, and also your measurements without the stand. So without the stand, that TV weighs in total 17 pounds. Believe it or not, the bracket only weighs 2 pounds. I kept saying it was a heavy beast. It seemed like it was. According to their website, it weighs 2 pounds. That's the bracket that's in the living room. I did some altercations on it that are not said to do by the manufacturer. I think that bracket, from what I see, is meant to take the TV down and put the TV in different spots. Part of me wishes that I would have used the same bracket that I used in the bunk room. I really like that bracket, but at the same time, we'll talk about that bracket when I get to it. This is definitely a super sturdy, solid bracket, this extended snap mount bracket. It's rated for 35 pounds. In all, on that wall in the living room, I am under 19 pounds in the whole thing. TV 17, mount 2. 4K, beautiful TV. It came out really nice and fits that room well. With my altercation, and we'll talk about the strap here at the end. Super satisfied, took the camper for a solid test ride on a good bumpy road, no issues. Next TV, we'll go with the 40-inch. This 40-inch Insignia, I do have one regret. I did not realize it wasn't a smart TV. Kind of a bummer. It is a 1080p, but we have like 4 Fire Sticks. It's not a big deal. It'll be a smart TV easily. It is what it is. The 40-inch TV weighs 12.8 pounds without the stand, according to the manufacturer. And the mount, the shipping weight on the whole mount says it's 10 pounds. This is the drop-down mount. This is by far my favorite mount out of the whole thing. I think you could tell probably during the video. That mount is capable of 12 to 20 pounds max. You ask why? Why is because of the gas shocks. If the TV weighed under 12 pounds, it would never stay down if you pulled it down. If the TV weighed over 20 pounds, it wouldn't stay up. So that 40-inch with that being 12.8 pounds really worked out well. I'm super, super, super happy with that TV up there. And the last TV to talk about is obviously the 24-inch. That is a smart TV, full 1080p, LED. All of them are LED direct lit for the record. And this is the extended swivel wall mount. It's rated for 25 pounds. That was the only wall with the backer that I wasn't impressed with. But again, we'll talk about the strap here at the very end. Save the day. I put a lot of weight on it, pulling. It ain't going to pull off. The strap definitely completes it. Again, rated for 25 pounds. And according to the manufacturer, that mount weighs 7 pounds. The TV weighs 6.1 pounds. I've got a total of 13 pounds on that wall. That's not too shabby at all. I mean, that's pretty light. So I'm pretty happy with that. The thing that obviously saved the day, of course, we all know, was the Overdo It strap. It's called the Travel TV Strap by Thumblock. They're really inexpensive, and what a solid peace of mind, especially when you get those straps into a stud. Super happy with the MORryde. I have nothing but good to say about them. They did not sponsor me. They should have. Their mounts are highly thought and well engineered. So I hope you hit subscribe. Leave feedback, ask questions, anything I can help you with. We do professionally do this here, so if you want it installed here, and you're willing to make the ride, or you live in the area, feel free to hit me up on pricing. I can tell you that I've priced big camper stores, like the big names, and they charge outrageous money if you wanted this done. We can give you a pretty fair deal, so look us up. Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll show you the TVs real quick at the end here. Thanks again. Nate, Rebel Liners.